Call the meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. All members are present. Approval of the agenda. We have two changes. There is no EDA report, and since they did not have a meeting, there will not be on 8B offer on real estate. So that will be taken off. Is there any other changes to the agenda? Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with those two items removed?
So moved.
Motion by Joe, second by Dave. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Approval of the minutes, August 21st, 2019 regular meeting. You all received them in your packet. Is there any changes, corrections, clarification? Hearing nothing, do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the August 21st, 2019 regular meeting?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Diane.
Second.
Second by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. This now brings us to our public open forum. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Our public open forum is now closed. We have no public hearings. We'll then move into reports and presentations. Park Board report.
The Park Board met last night. That was their regular session, Tuesday, September 3rd. They had several items on their agenda. They did receive reports from the Public Works Supervisor and the Campground Manager. They do have a recommendation for conversion of the softball fields to baseball fields at Tower View Park. That's an action item later on the agenda. They did review the seasonal camping agreement for 2020, and they will have a recommendation for that as well as a rate, and that'll be at your next council meeting. They did receive an update on the tree policy. We're going to be having a public hearing regarding the tree ordinance that includes information on emerald ash borer, on removal dates, and guidelines for that. They did discuss overflow boat parking for the campground, where that should best be located. They are recommending that the city consider a day-use dock at Sinclair Lewis Park. This would be for the public to come from elsewhere on the lake, up somewhere near the band shell. So that would be where you could come and walk into town or go to the Legion or do whatever if you lived on the lake. They received the update on the public beach application that went into the DNR. That takes about a year, so we won't know anything till spring on that. And they did talk about the campground upgrades that will occur after we close up this fall, so in October, along with some potential software. And then they also talked about the J.C. Park location for the Red Schoolhouse. They're going to be looking at how that could look sitting there. So they only have one recommendation tonight, or action for you tonight. That's 7I on the baseball fields.
Okay, questions, concerns? Okay, we'll move on to action items. 7A, approve resolution 2019-54, adopting the 2020 budget.
So we have an updated budget incorporating the changes that were recommended at the budget workshop that has been completed, and those numbers are before you. There's a general fund of $4,031,449, special revenue funds of $1,537,857, TIF funds of $87,250, debt service of $1,521,497, and capital projects of $652,500. That is a total budget of $7,830,553. And this proposed budget does include the levy increase that you had recommended of 4%, resulting in a budget balance deficit of $124,670. And so that is the gap that we need to try to close prior to the adoption of the budget in December. So what we're looking into is to approve resolution 2019-54, adopting the preliminary 2020 budget.
Questions, comments? basically in December, we can lower it, but we can't increase it, so that's the reason why it's at this level right now. So, there are no questions. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2019-54 adopting the preliminary 2020 budget?
So moved.
Motion by Heidi. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7B, approve resolution 2019-55 adoption of the 2020 levy.
So as a part of that total budget that I just mentioned of the $7.8 million budget, about approximately $1.9 million of that is tax levy. The rest is other revenue sources for the city. And so this final levy that is presented tonight includes that 4% increase that you had recommended. The 4% is $72,996. So that is the increase that you did for the general levy. This is a general fund levy of $1,272,920. Special revenue of $115,000. That's things like the library, EDA, airport, senior center, and arena. And then debt service is payment on our bonds, and that's $510,000 for a total 2020 levy of $1,897,920. And this is the cap. This is as high as you can go. You cannot go up, but you can go down in December. So that is a resolution 2019-55.
Questions? Comments? Do I have a motion to approve resolution number 2019-55 adopting preliminary tax levy collectible in 2020?
Motion approved.
Motion by Diane.
I'll second.
Second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7D, approve resolution 2019-56.
You skipped one.
Yep.
Nope, I
Nope.
skipped.
C.
Approve ordinance 790 implementing local option sales tax.
Last month, you approved a resolution approving state legislature's new law authorizing us to implement the sales tax, and now this step is actually implementing it. So this is ordinance 790, and this would implement the local option sales tax. It has all the statutory requirements for adoption. It also includes approval to publish a summary statement rather than the full ordinance, and this ordinance in front of you implements it effective January 1st, 2020. So this will all get certified, sent to the Department of Revenue, and then the process begins of notification of everybody. So everybody will have ample notification. This also includes the component that people will send it in with their regular tax. There's not a separate check to the city. It just goes to the state with other sales tax that they collect, and then the revenue comes back to us, auto deposit actually through MMB. So this is everything, and this should be the last action that the city council has to take. The only other action you might have to take is certification of the zip code. And because there's +4 digits, so we have to draw around the city and make sure that like people across the road that's in the township are not collecting it. So we have to kind of get real specific on that, and there may be a certification. Other than that, this should be the last action that you have to take.
Questions? Concerns? Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 790 enacting chapter 35 of the city code, local sales and use tax?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Dave. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Now we'll go to approve resolution 2019-56, calling a hearing on proposed assessments for unpaid city and utility service charges.
And as you know, this is something that we do every year. People that are billed for things like lawn mowing or delinquent electric bills or anything like that, that can be certified to their property tax. We have a public hearing, giving them the opportunity to pay it one last time before it gets certified to their tax. All we're doing tonight is requesting a date to set the meeting for. So generally, we have it in October. We have the meeting on the 2nd and the 16th of October this year. Either of those days will work. It's your prerogative to select one.
Anyone have a preference?
Makes no
October
difference.
2nd, I'm on, so.
Matters not to me.
Okay,
I don't
we'll make it
mind
the 16th.
getting it over.
Then we
Okay.
got a full,
Sounds good.
Yep.
okay. October 16th.
Okay.
General consensus on that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, it is a resolution.
We need
Oh,
to,
that's right.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 56.
I'll second it.
With that date.
Okay, we have a motion by Dave, second by Diane, to approve resolution 2019-56, calling hearing on assessments. Call the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7E, approve resolution 2019-57, declaring property excess.
The city police department has in its possession one vehicle that has now been forfeited and released by the Stearns County Attorney's Office to the city, and we would like to sell that vehicle to the highest bidder. So this resolution 2019-57 declares the property excess and advertises it for sale. It's a 2004, GMC Envoy.
Questions, comments? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2019-57, declaring property excess and advertising for sale?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Heidi, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. Call the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Planning Commission appointment.
So we have the unexpired term of Roy Walls for the Planning Commission that is set to expire in 2021. And we have 2 nominations that have requested to be on the Planning Commission. The first one is Barry Johnson, and the next one is Shallon Wilbur. And so the council should select one of these members to serve on the Planning Commission until December 31st, 2021.
Okay. I've spoke to both applicants. I will do like I usually do, make my recommendation. Recommendation for the Planning Commission would be Shallon Wilbur. And then if anyone has any other comments or anything they want to add to that, or go for Barry, that's more than council prerogative, so. If everything's okay, everyone's okay with that, do I have a motion to appoint Shallon Wilbur to the Planning Commission for the unexpired term of Roy Walls, effective September 4th, 2019, and expiring December 31st, 2021?
So moved.
I have a motion by Heidi, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Dave. Call the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Park Board appointment.
We have the vacated unexpired term of Roger Harrison for the Park Board to expire on December 31st, 2020. We have received 1 application for that, and that is Barry Johnson. So we're looking for the council to appoint Barry to the Park Board for the unexpired term of Roger Harrison, effective September 4th and expiring December 31st, 2020.
Okay. It's my recommendation that we put Barry in that
Yeah.
position since we had 2
Yep.
for one board and he applied for both of them. I felt the right to get both of them on board, so. Do I have a motion to appoint Barry Johnson to the Park Board, the unexpired term of Roger Harrison, effective September 4th, 2019, and expiring December 31st, 2020?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Diane,
I'll second.
second by Joe. Call the question, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7H, approve resolution 2019-60, calling public hearing on implementation of rental property ordinance.
So the city council, you had earlier set a public meeting date on October 9th to review the ordinance, but because this ordinance would govern how people use their property, it should actually be a formal public hearing. So what this resolution does is actually call that meeting as a public hearing on the proposed rental registration and inspection ordinance. Because it'll be at a separate meeting, you'll have the public hearing at this meeting, but there won't be formal action taken. So we'll probably have the public hearing at this meeting, and then it will come to the next council meeting for consideration. So what we're looking tonight is to approve Resolution 2019-60, calling the public hearing to consider the rental property registration and inspection ordinance.
Questions? Comments? Do I have a motion to approve Resolution 2019-60?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Joe, second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. 7I, approve ball field conversion, Tower View Park.
The city staff has been meeting with representatives from the school and the Baseball Association regarding a proposal to convert the 2 softball fields to baseball fields at Tower View Park. And this is something that's been circulating for several years. So the park board met last night, and they do have a recommendation, and approval would allow for the installation of infield grass and irrigation. Pitching mounds would be installed, and there would be base supports that could be changed for various baseline lengths. The intent would be to utilize the fields for 5th grade and up, so they've got different, like 12 and under teams, there's 15 and under, different teams. But these age levels require a larger field than J.C. Park provides, and converting both fields would open us up to being able to host tournaments, including division play. Softball representatives were contacted to determine if there's any interest in keeping the fields. There really is no organized softball group in Sauk Center anymore. The closest one is in Freeport, but they are also seeing diminishing numbers. If we do have softball, you could play softball on the field, be on non-regulation, because it wouldn't be set to the right lengths, but I mean, we wouldn't restrict it if they wanted to have a game. Part of the recommendation includes that the city would install an irrigation well rather than utilizing city water. And you've heard that before, that we would be maybe perhaps putting a well up, and the cost then would be recouped within 2 years because of how much the city water costs up there. So we've had bills anywhere from $2,500 to $4,000 a year for water for the fields. Public Works would assist with the conversion where needed, as approved by the Public Works Supervisor. Examples of what Public Works would be involved would maybe hauling and spreading the dirt or agri-lime, or taking the agri-lime off, because they'll have to take quite a bit of that off in order to put the black dirt in. Ongoing maintenance, including baseline maintenance, chalking, and mowing within the fence, would be the responsibility of the baseball group, and they could potentially fund that with fence advertising. So that's kind of a way that they might be able to fund that. Future improvements could include upgrading lighting, scoreboards, bleachers, fence repairs, etc. So these are all kind of the vision for this park. The action requested tonight is just to allow the conversion of the fields from softball to baseball fields at Tower View Park, so that they can really get to work on figuring out how they're going to make it work. They didn't want to, get all the volunteers lined up and everything, and then the council say, no, we want to keep them softball. So this is like the first step in a multi-step process. So, and it is the recommendation of the park board that they approve that conversion.
Questions? Comments?
Do we have an estimation of what that total project could cost?
What they would spend, you mean, or what we would spend?
What we would spend?
Well, right now, the only request of the city is the well.
Okay.
And the last irrigation well we put in was in 2015, and it was $5,000. So, and up there, the water table's really high, so it's probably going to be quite shallow, but I would expect to spend at least that much for the well up there. Because we already have the fence and we already have a lot of the things that are up there, there wouldn't be any required upgrades, except that they would eventually want bleachers, they'd eventually want dugouts, but it is their recommendation that they fundraise for that. And if they were wanting the city to participate, they would come to us each time ahead of that to try to request the funding. So the only obligation I think the city has at this point would be the well.
Any other questions? Concerns?
I mean, softball, they're not using it, so it's just a wasted space. And it was unanimous on the park board to recommend that too.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the conversion of softball fields to baseball fields at Tower View Park.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Diane, second by Joe. Any other comments? Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. EMT advancements.
Tonight, we have two EMT advancements. Ambulance Director Kathy Struford has submitted for approval these two advancements. The EMT pay schedule is a step pay, and it's a step for every 5 years of service. So tonight, we have Andrea Kerfeld to advance to step 2 after 5 years of service as of October 1st, 2019, and Jeff Bromanchenko will go to step 4 for 15 years of service as of June 1st, 2019. So we're looking to approve the EMT step advancements for Andrea Kerfeld and Jeff Bromanchenko.
Questions, comments? Do I have a motion to approve the EMT step advancements for Andrea Kerfeld and Jeff Romachenko?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Dave,
I'll second.
second by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Unfinished business, project updates. Keith?
Hey, good evening, Mayor and Council. 2 items tonight, Getty Street and the North Project. Getty Street is just about wrapping up. There was a final walkthrough done. There's a couple little minor punch list items to be taken care of there, and then that project will be done and complete. On the North Project, things are wrapping up. Right now, they're working on some of the flat work, concrete work, driveways, some sidewalk pieces and that. That should be done by sometime Tuesday of next week. Wednesday, we're scheduled to start bringing in some more gravel and finishing the grades for Country Club and Lake Shore and getting those ready for paving. Paving is scheduled for next Friday or maybe Monday of the following week. So by middle of the week after next, basically everything will be done except for we'll be just doing the final restoration. So the black dirt and seeding and things. And a lot of that's going on if you happen to drive through there. But so that's all that'll be left. So things by a couple of weeks from now, we'll be pretty close to being complete with it. So except for the final paving, which is actually next year for the final paving on it.
Are they doing the second lift on the first phase?
That's already done.
That's already done.
That's already
Okay.
done. Any questions?
Questions? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. We have no new business, and brings us to our consent agenda. We have schedule of claims of unpaid claims, $173,490.77. Paid claims of $600 for a total of $174,090.77. We have resolution number 2019-58, accepting contributions. The following people or organizations donated to the police department for purchasing a drone. Star Publications for $100, Pat and Shad Funeral Home and Cremation Services for $500, Polipnik Insurance for $100, John Weiss Ford for $100, Mid-American Auction for $100, Dan Borgman LTD for $100, Depot Feeds LLC for $100, Jack's Auto for $100, Whiskey's Corner Bar for $100, Tim Lowinger Airview Angus $100, Steiner Lumber Company $100, Boyer Motor $100, Center Sports LLC for $100, Jitters Java Cafe LLC for $100, Dairyland Supply for $150, Truckers Inn Incorporated for $100, Center Pallet and Lumber Incorporated for $100, Meyer Financial LLC for $100, Trisco Heating and Plumbing Incorporated for $100, Johnson Insurance and Financial Services Incorporated for $100, Felling Trailers Incorporated for $100, Main Street Soft Serve Incorporated, that's Dairy Queen, for $100, Minnesota National Bank for $210, Center Dairy Equipment and Supply Incorporated for $100, First State Bank for $100, Minnesota Meats and Market LLC, which is Schaefer's Market, for $240, Next Door Bar and Lounge for $100, Midwest Machinery Company for $100, Sauk Center Fleet Supply for $100, Sauk Center Family Dental PA for $300, Sarmiento LLC for $20, Central Equipment Sales Incorporated for $100, Center Electric Incorporated, $100, Advantage One Insurance Agency for $100, Fletcher's Bait / Sean Fletcher for $100, Nutrient Ag Solutions for $100, and Dan Welly Southdown for $100. I want to thank all those contributors for that, those donations to be going toward purchasing of a drone for the police department. We also have resolution number 2019-59, accepting contributions of $168.16 from Men's Card Playing Group to be allocated to the senior center. We have $110 donated from Rox Bainan to be allocated to the Shade Tree Fund, $205 from Minnesota National Bank to be allocated to the ambulance department, and a bike rack from Bicycle Alliance of Minnesota to be allocated to the park department. And on behalf of the city, I want to thank those people and organizations for their contribution. We have a request from Jim Metcalf representing the American Legion Post 67 for one temporary extension of outdoor liquor permit for the term of 1 day on September 28th, 2019 for a 5K run and DJ music in their north parking lot from noon to 10 p.m. And the 510 Art Lab has submitted an application and permit for a 1 day temporary on-sale liquor license for a grand opening at the 510 Art Lab located at 510 Sinclair Lewis Avenue on October 3rd. The fee and certificate of insurance has been provided. Is there any questions or concern related to the consent calendar? Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Heidi, seconded by Dave. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Informational items?
The informational item I have is the Fall Cleanup Day. It's a week from Saturday, so it's Saturday, September 15th from 8 a.m. to noon. And there's a flyer out there, plus it's going to be out in the paper, but it's pretty much the same items that they take, although they are charging $5 or $10 for a few items like computer towers and copiers, refrigerators and things like that are $10. So they do have a little bit of a fee right now, simply I think because the cost of scrap metal is down. But other than that, it's a good opportunity to get rid of all your fall cleanup needs.
Okay. Sounds good. That brings us to our end of our
Point of clarification, would that be the 14th or the 15th?
15th.
That's a Sunday.
That'd be the 14th.
Yeah. It's the 15th.
It's Sunday, the 15th, is that correct?
No, it's
Saturday, the 15th.
12th,
Saturday.
14th,
but-
15th.
I'm showing
Yeah,
Sunday.
Saturday, the
wrong. It's
14th.
for
Yeah.
Saturday.
the ad says Saturday, September 15th.
It is actually the
It's Saturday,
14th.
September 14th.
Okay.
Saturday the 14th. Yeah, they wouldn't do nothing on Sunday.
No.
so.
No.
No.
Okay. That brings us to the end of our agenda. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Yeah, motion
Second.
by Joe, second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5 in favor, none against. Meeting adjourned.